Story 1. My fiance cheated on me and I'm pregnant. Original post. Pretty much what the title says. My fiance and I have been together for 3 years and I love him more than anything. I know 3 years isn't that long and I've had longer relationships, but mine with him is definitely the most serious by far, and not just because he proposed. I've never loved anyone more than him, and when I fell for him, it was a much stronger and intense connection than I've ever had for anyone in my life. I'm only 26, so I know I have time to find someone else, but I'm so incredibly heartbroken in ways I didn't even imagine I could break. This by far is the worst pain that I've ever felt. I don't know how it happened. This was the healthiest relationship I've ever been in, and I was so excited to get married and have our child. He doesn't even know I'm pregnant because his birthday is next month and I wanted to surprise him. There were none of the usual signs like relationships declining for the past several months. It was like one day the switch just flipped. I noticed he was first off like 2 weeks ago after we came back home from my friend's place after hanging out. He seemed distant, but I just chalked it up to him being tired. But then he continued to be a little distant. I know his boss has been on his ass lately about a work project. He's an engineer, and I thought he was just stressed about it. These past 2 weeks we haven't been having intimacy either, but that's not out of the normal because when he's really stressed either with family stuff or work, he usually isn't in the mood. On Friday I went out of town to visit my sister, and I just got home today. Originally the plan was for him to go out with me, but he told me he really needed the weekend off to work on his project, which I didn't find suspicious at all. He knew what day and time I would be coming home. Yeah, when I got into our home, the kitchen hadn't been cleaned from what was obviously a romantic dinner, and when I got to the bedroom the sheets were a mess, and a woman's lingerie was on the floor by the door, and his pants and their shoes were in the hallway, very obviously hastily taken off on the way to our shared bedroom, our shared bed, our shared everything, and our sacred place. He just seemed so careless. He knew I would see and didn't even bother to clean it up. Did he really think that I'd stay? Did he really think I just wouldn't care? He's not picking up my calls, and when I texted him I realized he blocked me. If he was into someone else, why didn't he just say that? Why would he let me find out in the most hurtful way in the world? Even worse, I know who the girl is because he left her jewelry, and it's someone who I was insecure about when our relationship first started out, but I got over the longer we were together. I don't know what to do. I had to get out of her home, so now I'm just crying on my front lawn. I'm too mortified to call anyone close to me, and a million thoughts are running through my mind. What am I going to do with a baby? I can't even imagine trying to co-parent with him after a betrayal like this. Why did he do this? What changed? Did he get bored of me? Why wasn't I enough? Why her? Why me? What am I going to tell people? How am I ever going to trust someone again? Where am I going to live? Which of our mutual friends will choose him? Does this mean I can't be friends with his sister anymore? Just so many questions with zero explanations. I can't even put into words how soul-damaged, emotionally crushed, and absolutely wrecked I am. I'm so hurt I can't even talk about it. I can't even call my therapist. So now I'm typing it all out because I just had to tell somebody what was going on, even if it was strangers on the internet. Now for the top of the comments before reading the update. You were hurt, but you need to stop spiraling and react logically. Go back into the house and document everything. Photobomb the freaking place. Bag up the sheets and clothes as evidence. Contact a lawyer in case you have combined assets for professional advice. This includes if you wish to continue the child, document that you are pregnant and what would custody arrangements be. Keep the jewelry. It's spiteful, but since she left it at your house, why not do something useful with something that has caused you so much pain? Combine all this photographic evidence and email his family and your immediate friends that due to his cheating, you are now no longer engaged. Don't know your housing situation, but since you have residence, you can stay there to sort out your next housing situation. There are subs on here that probably have more resources on how to handle his cheating. Also, reach out to your sister and family now. They will help you. You haven't done anything wrong. He has. You will be okay, although it hurts now. This person says, "This is so awful, OP. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. To be honest, it kind of sounds like you wanted to be caught, so he could be looking for a reason to end things with you both. You're better off without someone like that. Pack your bags and leave, and once you've had time and feel ready, tell him you're pregnant. I wish you all the best." And then this person says, "Honestly, don't even give the other girl the satisfaction of being the one he cheated with." Obviously, the girl wanted to be known too. If anyone asks, I'd say Op should just be like, "He just wasn't good enough for me." I don't know. I feel like the girl loves the thrill and would probably brag about it after leaving all of her stuff there. And this person says, "I'm so sorry that you've been dumped, and in the callous, cruelest way imaginable. You have absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. Make no further attempts to contact him. Get up, go back inside, take pictures of the house you found, the way that you found it. They will likely come in very handy at some point. Call a locksmith, have him change the locks immediately, and pack his clothes up, put them on the front lawn. Or else, if you don't have a legal claim to the house, pack your stuff and leave. Don't wait and get it done." Now for the updates. Update 1. Mini update. Hey everyone, thank you all for the kind words. Sorry I haven't responded to any comments or anything, but really I was just so overwhelmed. I ended up calling my therapist and currently I'm staying with my best friend, but just for a few days until I can get a flight to where my parents live. My therapist recommended that I leave this situation off the internet, and usually I would listen to her, but I know some of you genuinely do care to hear what happens to me, so I'm going to post the final update probably tomorrow, if I'm not too devastated, or the day after. After that, I will most likely delete my account first. I am keeping the baby where I live. I'm too far along to get an abortion. The time span to get one is really short. I'm currently 2 months, and I haven't started showing. My ex-fiance didn't notice because the birth control I take makes me not have a period. But if I'm being completely transparent, I probably would have kept this pregnancy anyway. Second, I take pictures like all of you suggested, and I'm meeting a lawyer later this week. Third, I called his sister, and I have no idea what he told them about me, but I've never heard her have so much venom like what she had on that phone call with me. I told her what happened, and she wasn't shocked at all and said in this exact wording, "Wow, you really haven't figured out why he did this to you at all, have you?" And then as she was telling me to never call anyone in their family again, I had to shout over her that I was pregnant in case she blocked me. I could hear the shocked silence and told her I would literally piss on a stick in front of her if she didn't believe me. I think she could tell from my voice that I was telling the truth and told me that she would get her brother to meet me at the house later today to talk, and that I had to tell him I was pregnant myself and she wouldn't do that burden for me. She then abruptly hung up. His sister and I have always been close, and I remember how I used to wait all day in the hospital when she was getting treated for her breast cancer. I have no idea what could have made her hate me this much, what lies he could have told her. I just cried so much after this phone call. My best friend is going to go over with me when I talk to him, and she's going to wait outside in the car. See you guys tomorrow or later this week. I'm reposting this because I've gotten some comments saying they couldn't see my update. I think it got taken down because I mentioned the abortion laws where I live. I'm not trying to push my political agenda or cause a hot topic in the comments. I'm just being truthful about the area in which I live. Sorry that I'm posting later than I said that I would, but I ended up having a miscarriage because of the stress and needed time to process. Update 2. When I got into our home, my fiance was very callous and cruel. He berated me and would not let me get a word in. He screamed at me that I needed to drop the victim act or else he would tell all my friends and family the truth about me. I asked how I could be playing the victim when he's the one who cheated and then let me find out in an abusive, disgusting, and psychotic way. Before I get into the rest of this update, I feel like some background information is needed. Before I got with my fiancé, my hair was completely virgin. It was a brown color that looked red in the sunlight in photos that I loved, and his was pink. When we got close, I learned that it was pink in support of his sister who was diagnosed with breast cancer. About 8 months in, I decided to dye my hair pink for his sister's upcoming breast cancer surgery. Him and his entire family were touched by the gesture, and everyone ended up dyeing their hair pink before her surgery. My fiancé was especially touched because he knew how much I really liked my natural color. After his sister went into remission, we started doing cute matching couple hair of all different colors. When we visited my friend a couple of weeks ago, she was making a video of memories from over the years because one of her friends' big 30 is coming up, and she plans to show it at the party. After we came home from her place, this is when I first noticed he was off. He saw a video on her computer of me with very bright red hair, which is not my natural color even in the sunlight, which is maybe a shade red above auburn. Before I go any further, this video was from mid-2019, before we got together, and was not real dye. It was one of those non-bleach, non-damage hair waxes that come out after a single wash. In this video, I'm making out with a former male friend of mine. We are bar hopping, and you can see us in the back kissing as we're walking to the next bar. Last summer, my fiancé and I dyed our hair bright red like what's on the video. He thought that I had cheated on him because he knew my hair was virgin before I dyed it pink in support of his sister. While we were arguing, he kept telling me that I cheated first and that my effing hair was red, and that's how he knew that I had cheated with old male friend's name that I cut off because we'd slept together once before I got with my fiancé, and that made him uncomfortable, and that he'd saw it all on my friend's name computer. And that's why he slept with his female friend, because he wanted me to hurt like he did. I kept yelling at him that I had never cheated on him, and had genuinely no idea what the hell he was even talking about. I was so confused, upset, hurt, and angry that I started cramping in the middle of our shouting fest. My fiancé thought I was faking it until a large amount of blood started coming from my private area. He called the ambulance and my friend came inside to check to see if I was okay because I'd been there for a while at this point. At this point, I'd never even gotten the chance to tell him I was pregnant. My friend had to do so, so I yelled out in agonizing physical pain. The ambulance came in 11 minutes by the time I reached the hospital, but it was too late. My baby was gone. From there, word got out and my friend, the one with the video, heard about everything, and she came and showed him proof that the video he was talking about was from before we were together and taken in mid-2019. She showed me too because up until that point I had completely forgotten about that night and had no idea what he was talking about. I then explained to him that it was just hair wax. I'm devastated about the baby. Despite everything, I truly wanted to keep it, and I feel so hollow now, so wrecked. I don't know what to do about my relationship. He has genuinely apologized to me, and I know he only did what he did because he thought I had cheated on him. But I don't know if I'll ever be able to get over this, if I'll always resent him for the miscarriage, but I still love him so much, and I still can't imagine life without him. Before his mother learned the truth, she made a scathing Facebook post about me and my cheating, and since then, his entire family has all formally apologized to me. But I'm still getting calls from extended family members and friends who still haven't heard the truth, calling me hurtful things and telling me I deserved my miscarriage, and that's what I got for trying to baby trap him. It's another kick to my already broken soul, and as of right now, my social reputation is in tatters because of the post. My fiancé, or rather ex-fiancé, wants to make one big post just addressing everything. But I honestly don't even have the energy, and I can't imagine all of this drama for all of her loved ones to see that cut me so deeply just plastered on Facebook. His mom has tried to call, but I've been declining all of them because also in her post, she added some really nasty things she didn't like about me before she found out about the cheating that I didn't know she felt about, and I just feel really hurt about every mean thing she wrote about my personality, looks, character, depression, and anxiety episodes and the past. I'm currently staying with my parents in an Airbnb because it felt like I had to confront everything's front on and stay here, but they wanted to be here to support me. Guys, I thought I was broken before, but now I'm going to be completely candid and say that I've considered not living since the miscarriage. A part of me also feels like my relationship, which I love more than myself, is over, which just makes me feel so sick. So many things are being said about me, and all I want to do is disappear. But I know that I can't for the sake of the people that I love, and I won't. Anyway, that's the update. I don't know where my life goes from here, but it only felt fair to update you guys one last time. Final update. Hey guys, I know it's been a bit and many of you were very worried about me. To be honest, I just couldn't handle all the responses and just needed a mental break. Also, I wasn't expecting as many comments as I received, so I just ended up silencing my notifications. I'm finally ready to respond now, so here's the update. No, my fiance and I are not getting back together, but I did forgive him. We had an incredibly long talk about everything, and I know he's genuinely remorseful about what took place, but I knew nothing would ever be the same in our relationship, so I just had to leave it behind. We made the Facebook post, and many people called to apologize, but I didn't forgive any of the ones who made light of my miscarriage, and I'm very distant with all the others who just cut me off before even hearing my side. I sold the ring with what I bought myself a plane ticket for next month. My parents and I are American, but we used to visit this one country almost every summer when I was growing up, and they moved there after I finished high school. I'm going to move there too. I really like the country, but I never planned on moving there because I had a life here for me. College, and then getting into a relationship with my ex, I was just really happy. Seeing as how that's over now, there's nothing holding me back, and I have lots of friends from over the summers. 3 girls have even offered to be roommates and have called me at least 4 times every week to just support me. But for the moment, I think I'm just going to live there with my parents. Thank you everyone for the support and how much you've worried about me. I'm nowhere near healed, but I know I'm on the right path. Bye guys. Story 2. Am I the a-hole for bringing a friend home and letting her sleep on the couch when my mom was over and supposed to sleep on the couch? Am I the a-hole? I 30 female started college last year during my second semester and met Phoebe 19 and we were taking 2 classes together and we clicked immediately. We have a lot of the same interests and she's just a kind and smart girl. Phoebe was diagnosed with cancer over the summer. She spent a few months in the hospital and now goes for outpatient chemo every couple of weeks. On Thursday, Phoebe called me and said her grandpa was supposed to drive her to chemo, but he never showed up and asked if I could take her. After her chemo, she fell asleep in the car. I decided to bring her to my apartment to let her rest because she's one of 6 kids at home and her house is loud and not a good place for recovering from chemo. When we got to my apartment, I woke her up, brought her to the couch, and I brought her some blankets. She was very appreciative of me letting her stay at my apartment. The thing is, my mom is staying with us, and she was supposed to be sleeping on the couch. It totally slipped my mind when I brought Phoebe home. My mom got back and asked why Phoebe was here when she saw that she was sleeping on the couch. I explained the situation, and she said it was rude of me to give up the couch without asking her. I called my husband, explained the situation, and he picked up an air mattress and a few extra blankets for my mom. But she's still mad that I gave away the couch for the night. I took Phoebe home Friday afternoon. My husband says he gets why I did it, but he gets why she is upset. Am I the a-hole for giving my friend the couch when my mom was staying with us? Edit, I was told to add this to the post, but Phoebe's family could care less that she's sick. They didn't visit her in the hospital, they don't take her to appointments unless they're not working, they don't have plans, and they feel like going, and they don't make her siblings let her rest. She asked her mom if she was taking her to go get a procedure done, and her mom told her they can't put their lives on hold just because she's sick again. This part wasn't in the comment, but she shares a room with her 13-year-old sister, and her sister constantly has friends over, and they hang out in her room. Phoebe has come over so she could take a nap on the couch before because she can't rest at home. Story 3. Am I the a-hole for being so upset about my husband lying about coming to bed? Approximately once or twice a week after dinner and a bit of TV together, my 29 female husband, male 32, asked if I will go to bed so we can play video games in the lounge. I usually do and think it's important he has a bit of time for himself. This is not his only time for himself. The problem lies in the fact that he stays up super late until 3 or 4 a.m., he has to be up at 5 a.m. for work, and we have a baby and toddler so our sleep is often broken. My husband is always complaining about being tired and it affects him in the daytime. To encourage him to sleep at a reasonable time, I asked what time he will come to bed. He will always agree to midnight or 1 a.m., which is always at least an hour and a half of gaming. He always breaks this and is much later. I know I'm not his mother or in charge of him, but it more than bothers me that he doesn't keep his agreement. He's making himself more tired and complaining about it. It's irritating that his words mean nothing, and to me it's consciously lying. This is not a one-off accident, nor is he only a little bit late, it's hours. He says he thought I'd be asleep so wouldn't notice, but him coming upstairs wakes me up. The most hurtful thing is that I was married before my first husband died in a car accident on his way home from a night shift. I was woken traumatically by police pounding on my door, and my worst memory is looking to his side of the bed and him not being there. When I wake up in the night, baby toddler ensure this, and look at the time realizing my husband hasn't come to bed, I have the same panicked feeling. He knows this, and it really upsets me that his game is more important than my feelings. In my eyes, he's being irresponsible and selfish. He has time to unwind and enjoys gaming, but he takes the piss with it. He should be able to stop and come to bed instead of acting like a teenager. He knows how I panic when I wake up, and he's not there when he should be, but does this regularly anyway. Am I the a-hole for being so upset?